Hello everyone. So today we're going to see about networking deployment. Okay. So today's chapter is about networking deployment here. So let's discuss it. Okay. So before that we have study about the cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Roles of and what is the work of cloud computing characters? Right. Now this here block storage and cylinder. As you can see in this diagram, this is a diagram about cylinders storage overview, which you can see on screen. So the block storage, or you can say cylinder service manages volume on the storage device in the environment. Okay, so it is the volumes on storage device in environment in a production environment. The device presents storage via storage protocol. For example, a device is present in NFS, then you can say RBD. To storage, these are the protocol where the it is stored. Okay, to store network and storage manager API to manage the network. Instance are connected to volumes via the storage network by hypervision on compute host. The following diagram, you can block storage is connected to instance like a volume is created by assigned cylinder volume service using the appropriate cylinder driver. You can see as you can see in diagram only, the volume is created by using API that is a present to the management networks. After the volume is created using an API that is present to management networks, then Nova compute service connected the computer host hyperversion volume via the storage network. So after the hyperversion is connected to the volume, it is present the volume as a local hardware device, the instance. So important the is designed as a refer driver implementations, okay, which we do not recommend it for production use. The LVM storage backend is a single server solution that provide no higher availability options. If the server becomes unavailable, not available, then all volumes managed by the cylinder volumes is okay. Got it? If server is not available, then all is managed by the cylinders. This one, okay, as you can see in this. So here cylinder volume service running on the on that the server become unavailable, upgrading the operating system. So package, for example, kernel on the server causes storage connectivity outages because the service is restart. So limitation of the container, you must deploy the cylinders volume service directly, okay, on physical host, not into the container. When using the storage back end that connects via the means particular protocols. And so this includes the volume and many of the drivers for commercial storage device. So here object storage sweep. Okay, so object storage sweep here, block storage cylinder is there, glance storage overview is there. Okay, so let's discuss. So object storage switch, the object storage or you can say Swift service implement a highly available distributed consist object store that is the accessible via HTTP protocol, or you can say HTTPS protocol. So diagram how data is accessed and replicated. The Swift proxy service is accessed by client by the load balance on the management network. The Swift proxy service communication with the account container and object service on the object storage host via the storage network. Replication between the object storage host is done via replication network. So images store glance. So here you can see there images storage, block storage and images storage, glance storage overview. Okay, so the image Sphere glance can be configured to store image on variety of storage backend supported by the glance store drivers. So when the file system store is used, The image service has no mechanism of its own to replicate the image between image service hosts. We recommended using shared storage backend via file system mount to ensure that Glance API service have access to all images, doing to prevent losing access to image when infrastructure host is lost. Okay, so here diagram is interaction between the image service and storage device and Nova compute service when the instance is created. So when client request image, the Glance API service access the appropriate store on the storage device over the storage network. So here pulls into the cache when the same image is requested. Again, it's given the client directly from the cache. When instance is scheduled for creation compute host Nova service, so image from the Glance service over the management networks is managed over the network. So here, storage Nova, it is a means it is a flavor of means computer service are configured. So to provide the instance with root of okay, so root or disk. So Nova Compute Service manage this application using the disk storage location. In many environments, the disks are stored on the compute host, local disks. But for production environment, we recommended that compute host be configured to use shared storage subsystem. A shared storage subsystem allow quick live instance migration between compute host, which is useful when the administrator need to perform maintenance on the compute host and wants to evaluate it using the shared storage subsystem. Also allow the recovery in of the instance when compute host goes offline. The administrator is able to evaluate the instance to another compute host and boot it up again. The following means deploying an utilization OpenStack is production environment building production environment when you install the OpenStack in a means deploying network is is a production environment where the when you install the OpenStack in production environment. We recommended using separate deployment host and contain the OpenStack and enable. So building production environment here, the third final part of this means you can say that a production environment especially enterprise environment where the typical system administrator might take care of wide variety of both infrastructure and application. So in the enterprise environment, system engineers often drive infrastructure design, deployment, and adoption. So here and development means here over two types of is given, that is application and production, right? So communication service means communication service providers you can say that cloud technologies, the cloud technologies such as OpenStack to meet demands for innovating new service to sure business continuously. This production cloud environment must be highly available and reliable. Okay, so so here such as OpenStack to meet the demands for involve new services to sure business continuously. This production cloud environment must be highly available and reliable by the considering to available ability of both components and topologies. You know about topologies of your cloud environment. You can build a highly available production great OpenStack infrastructure. The second in a series from Red Hat Consulting, this white paper exam, okay, of cloud architecture. So creating highly available OpenStack environment. A general strategy for creating highly available OpenStack cloud environment is use horizontal scaling to deploying cluster service where possible. Non-scalable resource should be protected with the automated failure detection, share resource recovery, and restart the start it within the strategy. There are several concepts and components that must be addressed to provide reliability. So horizontal scaling is a basic premise in OpenStack is architecture is horizontal scaling as your environment grows. So simply more nodes for the particular service and increase the user and demands. Okay. So here, compute deployment is how deployment containers on compute engine works. The common methods of deploying software onto the compute engine VM instance include deployment software VM boot, which you can see the diagram using the startup script and cloud in. So creating the customer book disk image with the software pre-installed. Both of the above method combine the tasks. Means which one? Deploying the software VM boot using and creating the custom book. So this two method is a combine the tasks of configuring the app and setting up the operating system environment. As the developer, you must careful tracks and resolve any runtime dependency. For example, if two apps running on a VM use different version of the same library, you must install both version and point to the through system variable. So VM instance with the apps deployed directly to the operating system. So alternatively, you can deploy software in a container onto a VM instance or make. Okay. So container carries both applications, which you can see in diagram, right? Having two methods, app1 and app2, right? Okay. So let me take in one page both. Then you can easily see. Okay. Okay. So VM instance app deploying directly to the operating system here. So okay, consider as its operating system. A container can be easily moved to between deployment environment without dealing with conflict libraries version in the container and its operating system. The following process describe how to deploy container on compute engine. So you bundle your app and require the libraries into the Docker image and publish the image container register a third party registry such as Docker Hub. You specify the Docker image name and Docker run configuration when creating VM instance or instant template of the make. So compute engine execute the following tasks after you make request to create VM instance. Compute engine creates a VM instance that use Google provide container optimize OS image. This image includes Docker runtime and additional software that is responsible for the starting your container. So compute engine store you container setting of instance metadata. Metadata is data about data. Okay. So under the declarations. With VM start the container optimizations, operating system image use the Docker run combine configuration that is store the instance metadata. Okay, pulls the container image from the responsibility and start it the containers. Okay, then application orchestration using OpenStack Heat is a main project of the OpenStack orchestration program. It allow user to describe deployment of complex cloud application in text files called template. These templates are then passed and executed by the Heat engine. Heat was a born as a con- counterpart. Okay, counterpart. Sorry, the cloud formation service is in AWS, which we're going to see about. It accesses AWS template and provide compatible API. But it is recent OpenStack release. It has also began to grow outside of shadow cloud formation, providing inner template syntax. Okay, So installing of heat client as a common with the OpenStack service, low access to heat is available through the reset API. In most cases, however, working with the client is a more convenience. There are two official heats: client standalone, command line client, and web-based client. So this include with Horizon OpenStack dashboard project. All the examples I present in this series of architecture use the command line client which you have installed on your computer. Okay, and going to show the web-based client, but you should have to trouble it on the you are as it a very simple command create means command you can create Python virtual environment and install the hit command line. Okay, so you can see the example hot templates as a written in a structure ymet a text file. This particular example contains the top level section. Heat template version is a mandatory section that use the specific version of the template syntax that is a use. Most template you are going to see out there will be have 13 versions. The first release there is a new version in 2014 and introduced the Juno release that contain a few minor changes and addition. Description is optional and it used to provide description of what template does. Resource is the most important section in template because this is the where different components are defined. In first example, means the only resource is called by instance and declare OS Nova server, which is the type of Nova computer instance. The properties subsection identifies which image flavor, public key, and private network to use the instance. Okay, so here if you are working OpenStack, then the private network need to be specified as the instance of name. You can find the ID or your network using the Nova new list. Okay, so uh, okay, so let's see the one more practical regarding AWS here. Okay, so AWS practical. Actually, while recording this practical, by mistakenly, uh, voice change can't
Okay,
see here.
right here on
Actually, practically, my voice issue हो गया है, so I'm again explaining here. This okay. Let me close this voice. Okay, so see, this is the practical about AWS here. So this is about means, let me tell you the name of this practical, security management. So here, study the cloud security management. So here, this is the experiment the students will be able to understand security future of clouds to learn the techniques of application security management and its complexity. So with the help of these, हम लोगों को AWS में एक login बना के how we can secure particular our data. So this is your today's practical. So here cloud computing security is the set of control based technology and policies designed to means complain rules and protect information. So it used to design the protect the information. So data application and infrastructure associated with cloud computing use the because cloud very natural as a shared resource. Identity management. Okay, so privacy and access control are particular concern with more organization using cloud computing and associated cloud providers. So cloud computing security process should address the security controls. Okay, so cloud provider will be maintain the customer's data security. Okay, so let's discuss this. So here, first of all, I will type the particular link or matlab address by in URL. Security में this check it. AWS. Here I am typing. Okay. AWS Amazon.com. After this, I got a particular. I go to the my account here. Okay. my account, click on my account, and then first one, AWS Management Console, and click on it. Okay, AWS Management Console. After that, give the email ID and requirement fields. Let me click first AWS Management Console. So you can see here, you will get okay, here particular router username means here we have to create a email ID. So by user I don't have, means I first of all मैंने अभी just login नहीं किया इसमें, so if I put any email ID then it will be fail. Okay, you can check here मैंने khush123 डाला है, but when I will click on next then I will unable to go on particular page. So let's check it. After clicking the on next, okay, taking some time. Okay, see, then I put again khushboo@gmail.com. So जब तक मैं अपनी ईमेल आईडी क्रिएट नहीं करूंगी तब तक आई डोंट थिंक सो कि मैं अपना पर्टिकुलर मैं इस पे विजिट कर सकती हूँ. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई हैव टू क्लिक ऑन माय ईमेल आईडी हियर. ओके, सो मे बी हियर आई क्लिक ऑन माय ईमेल आईडी. लेट मी चेक विथ कैरेक्टर पूछ रहा है. पहले तो आपको ये कैरेक्टर फाइंड करना है. ओके, आफ्टर दिस अगेन फेल. वाई? बिकॉज मैंने अभी तक ईमेल आईडी क्रिएट नहीं किया. सो जब तक हम लोग क्रिएट नहीं करते तब तक हम लोग कितना भी मतलब कुछ भी ईमेल आईडी डालो वो कोई यूजेबल नहीं है. सो ये हम लोगों को पता है कि पहले हम लोगों को अमेजोन amazon.com में हमने गए, राइट, हम लिंक पे गए, यहाँ पे AWS हमने लिखा, उसके बाद हम लोग माय अकाउंट, यहाँ तक हमने सक्सेसफुल किया. ओके, फिर अभी हम लोगों को क्या करना है, हम लोगों को ईमेल आईडी बनानी है. सो finally I will go to make my email ID here. Let's discuss directly. चलो, ओके, ये बार बार फेल होता रहेगा इससे वरना. ओके ओके, नाउ अब मैं यहाँ पे खुद का ईमेल आईडी क्रिएट करी. तो यहाँ पे मैंने क्रिएट न्यू ईमेल आईडी अकाउंट मैंने क्लिक किया. फिर बाद में यहाँ पे मैंने अपना मेल आईडी, मतलब मैंने खुद का मेल आईडी बनाया, कुछ भी नेम देख, मतलब माय नेम. उसके बाद पासवर्ड मैंने कंफर्म किया, और देन यू कैन चेक, यू कैन सी हियर. Okay, so here if you register the first time, just select I am new user. Okay, I'm new user radio button, and click on the sign and secure the server button here. So following instruction and complete the formalities here. So here given that we do not have to provide any credit card and details, bank details, sign on out from. So okay, so after that email ID field की requirement, ID की requirement field. If you are registered first time, then select I am new user radio button. Okay, after they click on it, a particular check it. Then following instruction and complete the formalities. अभी particular formalities आएंगी जिसे हम लोगों को complete करनी है. Okay, and then you can see here ओके, यहाँ पे कुछ फॉर्मेलिटीज है जिसको हम लोगों को क्लिक करना, फुलफिल करना है। ओके, देन उसके बाद हम लोगों को एक पर्टिकुलर कार्ड सिलेक्ट करने को आएगा। आफ्टर कंप्लीट लेट डिस्कस। ओके, आफ्टर दिस आई विल गेट पर्टिकुलर, मतलब इसके थ्रू आप अपना डेटा सिक्योर कर सकते हो, मीन्स इस अकाउंट से। बस ये ऐसे कि आप पर्टिकुलर डेटा स्टोर कर सकते हो, यूजर आईडी क्रिएट कर सकते हो प्रैक्टिस में। इसके लिए जैसे हम AWS में अपना अकाउंट क्रिएट करने के बाद देन हम लोगों को एक क्रेडिट कार्ड का ऐसे ऑप्शन आएगा, उसमें आप लोगों को कुछ पैसे कट हो गए। बट जब मैं ये प्रैक्टिस कर रही थी तब उस टाइम पे मेरे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड नहीं था, तो मेरा प्रैक्टिकल यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने कंप्लीट किया है। इसके बाद एक प्रोसेस होगी। सो अगर आप ये कंटिन्यू देखना है तो वी हैव द मैनुअल ऑलरेडी विच वी पोस्टेड इन गूगल सी कि यहाँ पे आपको एक पर्टिकुलर क्रेडिट कार्ड है, जहाँ पे आपको क्रेडिट कार्ड लेना है, आपको एक्सपायर डेट लिखना है, तो कंसोल नेम लिखना है, देन पर्टिकुलर क्लिक करना है। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस आएंगी जहाँ पे आप अपना यूजर नेम, मतलब आप अपना डेटा सिक्योर कर सकते हो इसके थ्रू। देन यू कैन मेक द मल्टीपल यूजर, सो बहुत से प्रोसेस कर सकते हो इसके बाद। बट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू फिल दिस विच वी मैंने नहीं किया है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज दैट टाइम आई डोंट हैव द this particular cards with me. So इसके PDF when I will send you, then you can continue the following step. This is also easy. Just you got how to create account in AWS. Okay, okay. So today's lecture is over here. Thank you.